Big LEZ'S League, an all rugby league experience.
All right, team, it is full-time. New South Wales get the job done. Unbelievable series. I'm still in disbelief, to be fair, that New South Wales were able to get the job done here. I thought that with how dominant Queensland were in the previous two games, that it was going to be very hard for New South Wales to match it. But New South Wales 30-12 with the final scoreline. They get the job done. Gritty performance as well. Really tough. The aggression through the middle in the second half, particularly on kick chases and just the effort areas, I thought was the key difference there for New South Wales. Thought they were very classy, particularly in the last 20 minutes there as well. Just playing pretty conservative footy, holding on to that lead. Chaps and I obviously called the game for this one, so that explains the little headset setup that we've got here now, more common with the Rabbitohs radio setup. But really good performance from New South Wales. Let's get stuck into a couple of key stats from the game. So New South Wales, 54% of the ball. They had 86% completion rate here compared to 70% from Queensland. Tackle bust, 47 tackle busts to 34. So it did even out in the second half. New South Wales had 30 tackle busts at half time. 4 line breaks to 2. 455 post-contact metres to 363. 1,457 run metres compared to 1,260 there for Queensland. So dominant in most of the categories there. 2 forced dropouts that we had as well. Tackle efficiency, 89% from New South Wales, 85% from Queensland. So dominating in all areas. Wasn't expecting for New South Wales to have such a clinical performance here. But as I said, they get the job done. Really good performance from some of their key men. I think that Nathan Cleary has shut a couple of people up now in regards to him being, a future immortal over the next couple of years. Obviously, the box that people said Cleary had to tick was, winning a Origin game and being a dominant part of that game as well. And, obviously 2 man-of-the-match performances in this series and tied with Andrew Johns and Peter Sterling as well for man-of-the-matches with 4 in their Origin careers. So he's still got plenty of Origin games to come, which is crazy to think about the more success that Cleary could have in the Origin arena. But I think that is shut a couple of people up in regards to, is Cleary, is Cleary that future immortal? The only box that was left unticked for some was the Origin arena domination, and he's certainly done so in 2 games this series. But this was the first full unbelievable performance that I've seen from Cleary as well. Like the first half, obviously scores 2 tries, sets up a couple of opportunities as well. His kicking game slowly came into fruition after the first 20 or so minutes. Moses did majority of the kicking to start the game just to try and trap Queensland in their own end. And then Cleary did get involved with a couple of kicks there. Thought he was really good, Cleary. Didn't overplay his hand either. It felt like at stages he was playing a bit of that second fiddle role, and Moses was taking over with the longer range kicks. Moses did have 719 kicking metres here compared to Cleary's 120. So Cleary almost was sort of rotating with Moses between that first and second receiver type role, and I actually liked it. I thought it worked out really well. Again, it's one of those first games for these two where I've looked at both of the halves combining and alternating between first and second receiver. It actually did work. It's like the first game that I've seen with these two in the halves where they've sort of started to click a little bit. Maybe it's just come with repetitions and it's come with getting training sessions in together, but they looked quite good there, Moses and Cleary. Payne Haas was unbelievable as well. 17 runs, 128 run metres in this contest, 59 post-contact metres, 6 tackle busts, 2 offloads. Felt like he had a lot more than that. 32 tackles. He was unbelievable there. Cam Murray, when he came onto the field, unreal. Talked a lot about him starting in State of Origin footy and, should he start for New South Wales? I think that there is a real possibility where off the bench could be something that works for him as well. I'd prefer him starting and playing big minutes, but him coming off the bench and adding that leg speed was huge for New South Wales. Absolutely massive. Depending on what the side looks like over the next couple of years, and if they do start to change things up here in regards to the bench rotation, a couple of smaller bodies in there, maybe it is going to be suited to Murray starting and playing those big minutes still, but did a very good job off the bench, and I feel like he's been New South Wales, I want to say third best player this series. Super underrated series for Murray in regards to his impact for New South Wales through the middle. Easily Adam Fanua-Blake's best Origin game. Had a really good stint there for New South Wales. I thought the stats don't really tell you the full story. 66 run meters, 29 post contact, 3 tackle busts, offload. I thought he was really, really good. Adam Fanua-Blake, very physical. Played 27 minutes. It doesn't feel like a lot, but watching the game, it felt like he was out there for a long time. We called it throughout the game as well. Haumole Olakau'atu not used. Obviously, they had to use Blake Braley there coming on, who made a little bit of a difference there just with his leg speed in and around the 9 position. I thought he was really good just coming out of dummy half and engaging markers. Again, with Harry Grant and what he was doing in and around the ruck, the first 20-odd minutes there, you'd think that probably Harry Grant in the first half was one of their best players for Queensland. We'll talk about Queensland performances a little bit later on. But yeah, Blake Braley certainly made an impact there at 9. Ethan Strange only came on for a section there. He was playing in the centres due to 2 failed HIAs. Tolu Kula at fullback. It's probably the only criticism that I have of New South Wales is, Tolu Kula just in the air really cost us a couple of times. Definitely could have cost us the game potentially, but can't really say that. New South Wales won. We move on. But yeah, definitely the only real criticism I'd have of New South Wales in this game was Tolu Kula. There was a couple moments there under the high ball where he didn't compete hard enough. And it might be something that people look at, future coaches look at when selecting him in future series. But he's a great player. He's very, very talented, and I'm not going to judge him off one Origin game. He's been really good for us in the previous games that he's played. Tolu Kula in the centres defensively, he's had some big moments, so I'm not going to judge him off the one game there, especially out of position at fullback. We talked about Cleary, talked about Moses. Mark was solid, had some nice touches there. Funnily enough, like we're talking about, Bostock with a bigger body, he only had 12 runs for 64 run meters. Mark had 16 runs for 92 meters. Like, meters were very hard earned when it came to the outside backs. It really came down to, Moses in particular putting Bradman Best in really good spots in their transition sets down that left-hand side, and Bradman Best, 198 run meters. He was outstanding. 5 tackle busts. I feel like, as well, we said it during the call, it's 3 times now where Bradman Best has come in Game 3 and looked really good and, just hasn't looked out of place in an Origin jersey. I almost feel like you can't leave him out now. Like, I'd almost feel like he'd be one of your first picked in future series. I think that he just wins you games. He's a solid player. Bradman Best rarely makes errors as well. I thought Critter was good. Definitely a more controlled temperament from him. Took a couple of carries, set up a couple of opportunities down the right-hand side. I thought Critter was solid. Reece Robinson's stint was good. Barnett's best Origin game by far. Barnett was outstanding in that first stint. Liam Martin was pretty close to getting man of the match for me. I think it would have been between Martin, Haas, and Cleary. Yeah, Martin, Haas, Cleary, and Murray for man of the match for me. I would say out of all the players here for New South Wales, it was a really good dominant performance from the group, and they completed very well. It was off the back of the halves in their performance. Obviously, Cleary there having a really solid game, and Moses as well playing the perfect role there in 5'8". As I said, set up a couple opportunities for Bradman Best there down the left-hand side. But yeah, I thought that those 4 were definitely the standout. I think that top 2 players for New South Wales, probably Cleary, then there's a bit of daylight, and then I'd probably say Murray, to be fair. Had a huge impact off the bench for New South Wales. Offloads with Payne Haas and the leg speed as well, bouncing at a couple tackles as well. He was very close, so too Liam Martin with his kick chase. And the thing I liked about Liam Martin was he wasn't afraid to go to the other side of the field and make those tackles as well. He played the full 80 minutes, but he went for both sides of the field on the kick chase and was the first guy there every single time. So Liam Martin, unbelievable Origin performance. Is going to get talked about a lot on the mainstream medias, that's for sure. For Queensland, what went wrong? It was the completion rate. Just completing just at 70% in this one. Very poor performance from Queensland. Thought it was Sam Walker's worst game. Even though he only got 66 minutes, I just felt like a couple of the opportunities down short sides as well, didn't really execute at his best. In saying that, New South Wales did get a lot of ascendancy throughout the game, and it was hard for Queensland to sort of capitalise and create opportunities where the first two games, Queensland had all the momentum, and it was easy for guys like Sam Walker to play off the back of that. It was interesting, like on the back foot, I should say, where you really start to see the reality of, okay, when Sam Walker doesn't have a lot of momentum behind him, he can really struggle to create moments. Had a good kicking game. I thought he had some nice kicks. It was pretty predictable at stages too. It was either a box kick to Mark Nwonganitawazi. It was a crossfield kick high for Bostock to try and get him under a bit of pressure and just get that right side chase to sort of jam him in his own end. They were still getting down their side of the field. It was one of Flegler's best games of Origin. Tino was very good. I thought that Nikora made a huge difference. You could tell there was a little bit of a shift in mentality when Nikora went off the field. It felt like for that 10 minutes there, Queensland just lost a little bit of confidence because he just had a bit of an aura and a mongrel about him when they went down the right side. He'd bounce a couple of guys off and get in their face, particularly on that Tedesco knockout there. I mean, Tedesco would have been pretty upset to come off the field there, but very happy with the win for sure. Ruben Cotter was solid. Pluth was good when he came on, I thought, as well. I think they missed a Carrigan. They just missed one of these guys. They feel like if they had a Horsburgh there to come off the bench and just be a bit of a mongrel through the middle there. I feel like they lacked that genuine middle. They only really had Liero that came on in the middle there. Tino played 42 minutes. We saw Ruben Cotter play 69 minutes. There was plenty of fatigue there through the middle there for him. They had to interchange both of their back rowers due to injuries. So they obviously had to use a couple of interchanges there. Nanai played a little bit of a stint through the middle. So I'd argue that Queensland did miss that Carrigan or that Horsburgh to come through the middle and break the game open for them. Walsh was good. Walsh was very good when he came onto the field. He played 5'8". I thought he came on and was one of their better attacking players, run the ball quite a bit, kicked quite a bit as well. I thought he was really, really good, Reece Walsh. He was definitely one of their shining lights. I'd say best players for Queensland, probably KP. Second to that, Selwyn Cobbo with how safe he was throughout this game. I'd then say probably Britt Nikora, just with his intensity. And then I'd probably go with Reece Walsh when he got onto the field for the last 36-odd minutes there. Thought he was really, really good for Queensland. There you go. That is your review. New South Wales, an unbelievable performance. 86% completion rates. Cleary has his moment in State of Origin. 2 man of the matches in this series alone, and a dominant performance for him in this one, scoring 2 tries in the first half and setting up opportunities all around the park there. Nathan Cleary clearly ticked that box now of dominating the Origin arena, and more Origins to come for Nathan Cleary. A couple of questions coming out of this game for New South Wales. Is Moses Cleary going to be the combination moving forward? I'd argue with how good they looked in this game. I think you've probably got to try it going into the next one, even though I'd love to see Cleary with a ball running 6 in Ethan Strange, and it will obviously dictate on form. And, Moses is only getting older. He's 32, be 33, I think, next year when that Origin time comes around. But I think that you'd have to give it a crack for the first game, depending on where it is. I think that you've definitely got to give Moses and Cleary a crack. If you look at the first game, we've seen them actually gel quite well, and that dynamic between them switching between 6 and 7 worked out really, really well. Other key takeaways as well, you won't have Mark next year. Opens the door for, obviously, Brian Toto to come back into this side. I think Bostock is pretty safe, to be fair. I think that I'd almost say that Bostock, pending form for next year, I'd be looking at to bring into this side or to keep into this side for the game 1 next year. I think Bradman Best, you've just got to pick him because he's that game 3 specialist. You've got Latrell, you've got a couple of other guys you can throw in the centres, but I think you've just got to almost lock down Bradman Best in that left centre position pending form and injury, just with how impactful he is in Origin games. Other takeaways here as well. Martin, you've just got to lock him into the back row here as well. Even if he's fresh back from injury, he's just an Origin player. Blake Brayley, I do like him at 9. It'll be interesting to see what that 9 and 14 combo looks like if they do go down a similar path next year. First Origin series without the 6-man bench as well, so it's been interesting to see. It just adds another layer as to the thinking around Origin and how you structure your side and whatnot. Just adds another layer to that, which has been really interesting to see play out. For Queensland, Munster, was this his swan song? I doubt it, considering they lost. I think if they won and they could ride off into the sunset, it would be. I'm even hearing now that that Billy Slater is going to sign on for another year, or that handshake agreement, whatever they decide to do. It sounds like he's going to have another year there in the saddle. So I think Munster might go around again, depending on form. And judging off the first 2 games, I'd almost say that Sam Walker, pending injury and form, is safe in that 7 jersey. I think it's going to be between Munster and Dearden for the 6 next year, which will be really interesting to see that play out. I like this Queensland side. I think there's not going to be too many changes from this team in particular going into next year, pending form and injury. Maybe Murray Talangi comes onto the wing for Jojo Fafita, but other than that, or Xavier Coates to come back into this side as well. So there will be changes there. Ponga and Walshy fighting it out for fullback. It'll be interesting to see what happens there. If Walsh is just going to be that jersey 19, comes in and changes the game, I don't mind him in that role either. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Queensland decide to do moving forward with their team. But that's pretty much it from me. New South Wales, an unbelievable win here. Shining lights, obviously. Cleary, Payne Haas through the middle there with his leg speed, just bumping off defenders in the offloads. Yowie, I thought, was quite good as well. I thought that Murray was an absolute standout off the bench there. I thought Blake Brayley came on and did some good things, but the standouts for me, Cleary, Haas, Murray and Martin were definitely the 4 best players for New South Wales. For Queensland, Kalen Ponga, it was definitely one of his more decent games. Felt like he couldn't really do too much more with the lack of ascendancy that they had. He obviously came off a little bit early as well, 74 minutes only in this game. I think that Britton Nickera was probably one of their better players for Queensland. Cotter was good as well. He was pretty fatigued towards the back end of the game, though. Hammer looked dangerous at different points in the contest. Selwyn Cobbo was very safe and got through a ton of work, 170-odd metres there for him. So it'll be interesting to see what the side looks like for next year for New South Wales. But New South Wales get the job done, 13 plus in this series. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe to Big LEZ'S League to not miss out on any great content. Origin's obviously done and dusted for this year, but we're doing plenty more content, maybe a couple of live streams and whatnot with Sideline FM and the YouTube. So subscribe to not miss out on any of that great content. Our show Momentum as well every Tuesday night with myself and Jake Marchetto. Utility Mode also on that platform with Sophie Curtin covering the NRLW. So subscribe to all those platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Instagram. Give us a follow. We'll see you guys in the next one.